You know that phrase, coming out of the closet? We hear it all the time. But what if the whole idea is wrong? Well, we're going to dive into a really powerful essay by Solano Drumond that just takes this entire narrative and flips it completely on its head. And it all kicks off with the simple act of cleaning.
And bam, right there, that's the central idea that just grabs you. The closet was clean. I was never in it. I mean, what a bold, provocative statement, right? It completely rejects the entire premise of being hidden away. From the very beginning, the author makes it crystal clear. The story you think you know, that's not their story. Not at all.
So, this huge realization all started from something totally mundane. The author was just cleaning out a closet, sorting through old clothes and memories, finding textures, scents, feelings. But you know what was missing? Any trace of shame or guilt. Just a simple chore sparked this massive personal discovery.
And with that sudden clarity, the whole concept of coming out just started to feel, well, odd. Like a script that someone else wrote, and it just didn't fit. The realization was profound. They've always been who they are. They never had to ask for permission to exist or to love.
So let's get into this. Why is this narrative so flawed? The author argues that the whole coming out script isn't really a personal journey of liberation. It's more like a strange and frankly burdensome expectation that society puts on people. Let's break that down.
And here's what's so interesting about this critique. The script basically implies that you have to accept being hidden, that you have to live in this less-than space, before you can then plead your case for acceptance. It's really just a performance of asking for permission to be yourself.
This comparison just lays out the core injustice so clearly. On one side, you have the dramatic expectations placed on gay individuals. Emotional speeches, family meetings for approval. And on the other side, the quiet, unquestioned reality of their straight siblings. Think about it. They didn't have to make grand declarations. They just lived. They brought partners home. Their love was never put on trial.
So if you reject that script, what do you do instead? Well, the author offers a really powerful new way of thinking. And it all boils down to the sharp difference between two words we tend to mix up: privacy and secrecy.
This redefinition is absolutely everything. The point here is that intimacy isn't about hiding, it's about dignity. See, privacy is a choice you make to keep parts of your life for yourself. Secrecy, on the other hand, is something that's forced on you by the shame of others. And that's the key. The author's intimacy was never secret. It was just private.
And this is just such a sharp observation. The author points out how deeply uncomfortable that moment of asking, "Do you still love me?" actually is. It might sound sweet on the surface, but it's built on a really painful foundation. The idea that your identity could actually make you unlovable to the people who are supposed to love you no matter what.
Exactly. This is the simple, powerful truth right at the heart of the essay. That burden, the risk of being rejected for who you are, is a weight no one should ever have to carry. That risk just shouldn't exist in the first place. Okay, but what happens when that risk becomes real? The author doesn't shy away from the painful reality of negative reactions. Instead, there's a radical reframing of where the shame truly belongs.
This question sets up such a powerful reversal. I mean, if you were never in the closet to begin with, then what is actually being revealed in that moment of judgment? What is that thing that suddenly fills the room?
And there's the answer. It's their prejudice. The filth that comes out in that moment, it isn't yours. When a family reacts with judgment, they're the ones outing something. Their own intolerance, their own prejudice. The focus shifts completely from your identity to their failure.
And this filth, as the author puts it, is an external force. It's their silent judgment. It's their weaponized shame. By seeing it as theirs, not yours, you can actually hold on to your dignity, even when you're facing rejection.
So this brings us full circle, right back to the closet itself. After tearing down the old narrative, the essay rebuilds the meaning of the closet, transforming it from a symbol of shame into a space of personal dignity.
The essay gives us this absolutely beautiful inventory. It's filled with these items of care, elegance, and history. But notice how tangible things, a sewing machine, shoes, perfumes, are listed right next to the intangible, elegance, and self-worth, which is described as being neatly folded. This is not a prison, it's a treasure chest.
And that's the final, powerful redefinition. A closet, whether it's a real one or a symbolic one, isn't a hiding place.
It's a private, respected space where you keep the tools and treasures that make you who you are. It's a space that deserves respect, just like the person it belongs to.
And this final line from the essay just ties the whole argument together so elegantly. It leaves us with this question to chew on. What if the closet was never made for people at all? What if it's just a well-ordered space for a life lived with dignity and intention? Now that is something worth thinking about.